Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your brother in the struggle coming right back at you once again. But first, once again, as I always start these videos, for the most part, by asking you, are you ready for the truth? Are you ready for the reality shown on this video, along with it, with the links that I will share with you? Okay? So, today, I want to do things different. Before I read what I wrote, I want to go straight into the Bible, read you the two verses, which is complete. It's a complete contrast. It's like right versus left versus right. Okay, it's like night and day. So we go back to Matthew 24, when the disciples were asking the Rabbi, the Redeemer, our Savior, Christ, when, in fact, let me read it for you real quick, because I want to do this video as fast as I can. Matthew 24. I'm going to start on verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? See, what they meant was the end of the system, not the end of humanity, okay? Not the destruction of humanity, because that's never going to happen. Okay, so here we regardless of what you've been hearing. But anyway, I explained that to you a little bit later. Number 4, verse 4. And Christ answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And that is exactly what we are witnessing right now in this last days, in the last days of this system. Okay? Because, ladies and gentlemen, remember, one day, 1,000 years is like one day for God, and a day is like 1,000 years for him. In other words, time does not exist in the spirit world, in heaven. Okay? So, here we go. So that's exactly what we're witnessing right now. There are multiple wars around the planet, not just in Ukraine, okay? So let's get that straight. There are human beings dying every freaking day all over the planet. Because there are different wars out there, ladies and gentlemen. For instance, let me give you one example of a war. Because all of our wars are spiritual. This is a spiritual war. What is going on in Chicago, for instance? Seeing all these young men left and right shooting and killing each other for no reason. And that's the amount of deaths piles up in the thousands every freaking summer, every winter. It doesn't stop. It never ends. Okay? So there are many different wars. We got like 46 wars right now going around. If I'm not mistaken, about 46, 48 wars around the world. But all of a sudden, humanity's eye are in Ukraine because Russia is there. Ladies and gentlemen, do not get it twisted. Russia, Biden, they are all in it. Okay? But there's some reasonable, justifiable reasons to justify. I mean, you may say justifiable reason for on Putin's side. So I'm going to present both. There's two sides to every story. Okay. There are two paths in life that we must take. You either go with God to the right or you go with the devil to the left. Plain and simple, straight up and down. Okay. Here we go. Now, so we come from man's system. There are wars, there are divisions, there's violence all over the place on earth, diseases, pestilence, you name it, earthquakes, right? It's talked about on Matthew 24. Now, let's move on. Let us move on to Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Now we are talking living under God's paradise here on earth, because we are earthly creatures. Okay? Come back down to earth. We're not going to be up in heaven. Heaven will be right here. We are earthly creatures. We were created to be living on an earthly paradise, heaven, forever. But we all know what happened. We know the story. So here we go. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. This is what God is going to do. And he should judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall be their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall them learn war anymore. Isn't that beautiful? Number 5, it says, "O house of Jacob, come ye, let us walk in the light of the Lord." 6, "Therefore the house forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and as soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers." See? We have broken every rules in this spiritual battle. This is why God is punishing us right now. Okay? Because we are rebellious creatures. We are living under the Stockholm syndrome. Okay? We have let the people that have come and conspired against us, which are the children of Esau, the children of Edom. We live under the Edomite system, which will soon be destroyed by their creator. Because the Edomite system, ladies and gentlemen, is composed of constant wars. Okay? Because the spirit of Edom is of the devil. You understand? That's why God told Rebekah back in Genesis 25, told her, "There are two nations in thy belly. The older shall serve the younger, And when the time came, there were twins in her belly. And she gave birth to the first one, the firstborn, Esau. And he was blonde, hairy, and he had hair like a garment. I mean, like a garment, all over. He was red. There's no such thing as white. A white man or whatever. All right, so here we go. Gradually taken over by America has been gradually taken over through lies, intimidation, coercion, and fear. America, as the corporation that she is, whom, by the way, is the second beast mentioned in the Bible. And she has set up her system, which has been bleeding her to death, until she will soon implode, until she will soon cease to exist as we know her today, to give way to the new quickly coming monetary system, just as it was given as it was given way to get rid of the English pound back in the 1920s, not the 1940s after World War II. See, 1940 was the nail on the coffin because England was totally broken. Money-wise, she was broken with the cost of the war, even though the Allied won. But it's okay. Or should I say they turned horns, but it's okay. A little bit later on that. But the reality is that war is hell for most and beneficial to the few. The architect who control everything, pushing their evil agenda in a gradual way. And let me give you some of these characters before I give you an example of it. Biden, President Biden, he's the president of the United States, is the political system, which is the military system. That's what the military might, as we stand, is, right? Okay. Number two, London. That's where the monetary, the economics, the economic system is at. All the money goes through London, England. Number three, the Vatican, or should I say, the diviner serpent, Vatis. Remember what I said, what Vatican really means. Vatis, which is diviner, and then which is come from the Latin word Vatis, V-A-T-I-S, and then Vatican, which we know as the Vatican. It represents the spiritual, concepted spiritual, the human concepted spiritual establishment. Because it is certainly not inspired by God. It is inspired by human entity, by the devil himself, ladies and gentlemen, because the Vatican is the first beast. Let me give you an example before I keep going. New York. That's where I grew up, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly where I grew up. I went there in junior high school. I went there in high school. I went there to, not college, because I didn't believe in that. I went to, I got like first year of college, then I got out. It was not even a college, really. It was like a kind of a institute/college. Anyway, New York is being worked to the max. I mean, New York is like, it's like a whore. She's a whore. And she's being used, she's being raped, she's being transformed into the garbage that it is quickly becoming. See, because New York, ladies and gentlemen, needs to be worked. New York needs to be brought down in order for the United States to start going down. So this is why you see the economic system in New York. There's no longer any small businesses. They're making it harder for the small business. Under the big, larger corporation, they are the one kicking and the one the ones going strong. That's being done by design. Number two, the justice system. That's not justice system in New York. You understand? You got the bail refunds, what they call it, the bail reforms, where you arrest somebody, then you let them right back out in the street. So why even bother having a police department? Let the criminal take over. Remember that old movie by Kurt Russell, Escape from New York? That's exactly how he's becoming. So New York needs to be destroyed. 9/11 was just the beginning of it. And I went through 9/11. I lived it. I was there. So, New York will be destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Mark my words. Once New York goes, then practically as New York goes, so would the United States of America. Why? Because that's where in Wall Street, that's where the money shakes down. That's where all the money movers and shakers are. Media is in New York. Okay? Got media in New York. So New York will be destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. That's why God took me out of there. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that's what God does. He protects his people. So I was there for the two, there was a mini 9/11 where only 6 people died back in 1996, I believe. There was a big explosion at the bottom. Again, who was in it? The FBI. The government was all over the second 9/11. That's a fact. And I love them when they say, we are investigating. Yeah, how can you have a fair investigation when you are investigating yourself? So the fall guy was who? Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was a CIA agent. Look it up. His name is Tim Osman. When the Soviets invaded Afghanistan, that was their Vietnam. Hallelujah. So, and you got these minions, these pawns, these chess players playing their role nicely so. You got Bill Gates, a man who used to hang out with Mr. Epstein and going out there with young lady in the island and going in the Loretta Expressway, you know? You know, they had a special jet. Loretta, what was it? Loretta Expressway, Loretta jet. You understand? Having sexual relationship with young ladies. And people ask him, you know what his reaction is? Well, Well, Epstein is dead now. You see? This is how evil, okay? This is how evil these men are. So you got Bill Gates pushing, we know what he's been pushing, okay? Now he's pushing a what? A barcode. Now you may not need a phone, he says. You're not gonna, soon you will not need a cell phone. I'm telling you, it's sick. Number two, George Soros, a man who's his own country don't like this man because they saw how evil he is. Okay? His own country, Hungary, hates him. He became a US citizen, and look what he's doing. Black Lives Matter. Funding Black Lives Matter and Antifa. As if he really cares for black people's well-being. And black people are so naive, they believe it. Not just black people, but in general, Hispanics, black, Native American, we are so naive, it is unbelievable. That's why our God has cursed us in these last days. That's why we're suffering. We are living through the curses, ladies and gentlemen. Read about them in Deuteronomy 28. So you got George Soros. Because of him, he's been financing a lot of district attorneys to destroy America. So those are the guys that are working with the bail reforms just like they do it in New York, in California, in Chicago, all over the place. Detroit, Baltimore. Number three, Dr. Fauci. Whatever happened to Dr. Fauci? You know what happened to this man? Because he knows that the Pfizer reports are already coming out. And all of them must be out by August of this year. Another adverse reaction of you know what are being talked about there. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, please. That's why Dr. Fauci is not talking. He's not talking right now. That's what devil do. They throw the stone and hide their hands. Okay? Number four, the Pope, Mr. Nice Guy, Francis. And just like Dr. Fauci, always pushing the jab. Well, the Pfizer report is out, and it's not looking good for Dr. Fauci. Okay? Let's go. The people have been programmed. See? The people have been programmed, conditioned to be naive, and to be so that they can be controlled by their masters called government. See, ladies and gentlemen, I work for the government in this state that I live in. And believe me, government is blind to society problems. So they must follow the narrative, whether it is good or not. The jab, they're always pushing that. They have to. Otherwise, they will be taken out of the club. They would not be financed. Okay, you understand? Hence, people don't see or don't care to see how a lost 79-year-old man named Joe Biden, pretending to be the president of the United States, have been conning Americans for almost 50 years. He has been conning America and the world at large, pretending that he cares, being the politician that he is, with nice hypnotizing words like climate change. But what he doesn't tell you, because he's evil, what he doesn't tell you is that he kills the babies. He allows the baby to be killed through the practice of abortion, the very same ones for whom he wants to protect the environment for. This is beyond pathetic, ladies and gentlemen. This is just evil. You understand? So for me telling you about this, I just want you to share and understand as to how everything is connected. What's happening in Ukraine right now, okay? And all of that. Let's keep going. Number 2, banning gas export from Russia by buying from Saudi Arabia, they don't even want to talk to America, and Venezuela, a dictator that have punished each people. You understand? He knew. See, let me just tell you a secret. Let me let you in on a little secret, ladies and gentlemen. This is how sneaky this devil is. Because he's stupid, but he's a cunning politician. Remember that old saying. How does that old saying goes? In Spanish is, el diablo no es diablo por diablo, sino por lo viejo. So the same thing is that the devil is not a devil, is not evil because he's the devil, but because of he's an old devil. So anyway, that's exact. This man is an old devil, so he knows how to manipulate people. He knew this. He knew he had to ban this gas. It was obvious, but now he wants to look as the hero. Let's keep going. Number 3, Vladimir Putin wants to protect Russia by killing people in its birthplace called Ukraine. Pathetic. But then I want you to understand this point too. Okay? The whole Russia is being surrounded by NATO. So he feels threatened. But that's exactly why the devil needs to have two or more political system to divide humanity, so that there be justification for killing. You understand? It is sad. See, humanity, we don't make sense. Okay? And I have some bad news for Vladimir Putin, for NATO, and for the whole, and for anybody else that wants World War III. It's not happening. Okay? We are creation created in the image of God. God would not allow this to happen. He's gonna take care. He's gonna rain fire upon this earth very soon. He's gonna start judging the nation. I just read it to you. He's gonna start judging the nations. Sorry, devil. Sorry, NATO. You're not gonna start World War III no matter how much you want it. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, you really don't see what's going on here? See, between Biden and Putin, they are introducing you to the fall of the world economic system to usher in the new economic reset, the Antichrist system. Do you think that it is a coincidence? And remember, they are not coincidence. That we just came out of a pandemic and now we have a war. So crisis after crisis. They never let a good crisis go to waste, they say. That's how devils talk. That's like saying, well, since I corrupted the first mother of humanity, Eve, let's keep working her. Let us make her children kill one another. Cain killed his brother Abel. You understand? Hallelujah. The job already did its job. And you're going to be seeing people, actually it's been happening, dropping like flies. Number two, now everybody is feeling, oh my goodness. So we walk from one fear to the next. Now it's, oh my goodness, World War III is going to start. Oh my, where's your faith? Oh, we don't have any faith. We just know we're just going to be blown to pieces if World War III starts, Ruben. Okay. But don't come to me if it doesn't happen. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Putin is a G20 member. He's a member of Davos, of the work for the World Economic Forum, the World Economic Forum, headed by Klaus Schwab, a man that talks with such a heavy accent, like, you know, you feel like saying, "Shut up, shut the heck up." This is what he said in one of his speeches. Oh, we're going to see an angrier world. Really? You think? Because, and we have to take advantage of this, of what we are going through. There's not going to be a moment to ever go back to normal. People are not going back to normal, he says. And then you got at the other end, you got Bill Gates predicting another pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, please. You see how clownish, how senseless, how stupid, how ridiculous humans really are, regardless of their intellectual status in society, regardless of their value, whether they are from the low end of the economic system to the big time billionaires, super billionaire as Bill Gates. Okay? So please, ladies and gentlemen, let us get it straight. Let us understand this. And by the way, now I feel the need to explain to you why I have to put these sunglasses on. Because people are starting to notice my sunglasses. Can you believe this? Never mind the message. I have explained that to people many times on my videos, that no matter which angle of this room that I'm in, the light, the glare, so this helped me zoom in on the camera and talking to you. Now, if I had you face to face, of course I would not have this on. This is just to, okay, so I won't be like this. Okay, the glare bothers me. So anyway, here we go. So, are you beginning to understand the psychological game being played here at the world stage? So Biden and Putin are part of the same, ladies and gentlemen, they're all part of the same game. Get it straight. Now you can say, well, Mr. Putin, he feels threatened, Ruben. That's why he's lashed out at Ukraine. Yeah, but hold on. Why not work for the betterment of humanity? How can you work with demons, Mr. Putin? If NATO and our demons, well, in fact, before I close, let us go to Revelation, Apocalypse, chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, which is the Roman Catholic Church. See, because the waters represents in the Bible people, nations, and tongues. 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains that surrounds the Vatican in Rome. And the 10 horns represents nations, which is the NATO. There are 10 main nations. Even NATO is composed of many, almost 15 countries, but there are 10 founding nations. 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, an abomination of the earth. Let us move to verse 10. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other one is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. 11. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. 2. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which had received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. You understand? So the purpose of these videos, ladies and gentlemen, is for you to understand Bible prophecies with the historical context. Okay? Because I don't have time to break everything down for you. For instance, when I say that the Russian nation was born in Ukraine, do your research on that. I send you links on that. That's where Russia was born. So they're going back to their place of birth to kill people? No, ladies and gentlemen. Putin and Biden, you think these people care for life? Remember, Putin was pushing the jab too. Remember, let us not forget, he's part of the New World Order system. Do not get it twisted. Do you really think that this scoundrels, this gangster-minded, these power-hungry people care about human life? They know that every woman that chooses for an abortion, that goes for an abortion, is eternally destined to be destroyed. That's why they make sure that they are in our community where God's people are. You got liquor store and Planned Parenthood. And you got Planned Parenthood because we got better genes. I'm sorry, we got better genes. Even though we came out of the same father, we got godly genes. We don't get old. We don't get sick. That's why they want to make us sick. You understand? So, and if not, then look at the sports. Who control the sports? Who has control any entertainment industry in the Roman Empire? Okay, remember that. So the gladiators in the Roman Empire, it was our people. We have been the entertainers, but we have been blinded, we have been bored, and we have been sold to the devil himself. And the devil, what does the devil do? Of course, he offers his woman, which I just read to you. What? Strangers, ladies of the strangers. That's how he knows. He knows our weakness. He knows our weakness in our desires, fleshly desire. And he also knows that we know how to make those women, but we don't know how to treat our own. It is sad. And that's exactly part of the plan to destroy our community, to destroy manhood, to destroy the family. That's why they say what? Transgender lives matters. Transgender lives matter. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make this up. This is like a horror movie that we're watching. Besides of what is happening, obviously, which is really painful to watch, but it's something that we have to watch. The killing of innocent people in Ukraine. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, I already explained to you as to why God allows that to happen. That's what happens when you practice idolatry, when you worship other gods. And what is the main religion over there? And not just there in Ukraine, but also in Russia? The Orthodox Church, which came straight out of the Roman Empire. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, I make this video with love for you all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. If I wasn't sure of what I'm telling you, if I wasn't sure of what I know and what I can prove to you, I wouldn't be here. That would make me the stupidest person upon this earth, upon the face of this planet, upon the face of this flat earth. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have for you. You all take care. I just want you to make sure that you understand how things are shaping up to be. So when they do come to fruition, you know, and please, but the main purpose of this video is for you to, not just to understand it, but to establish a relationship with your Creator. We got to go back to God. Okay? And don't let men be the middleman. You establish a relationship with your Creator. Don't let any church or any pope tell you what to do. Remember, religion is a demon-inspired concept that has engulfed all of humanity. Take care. God bless.